Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today, make sure I give you guys the right date here, I don't want to screw that up. Saturday, March 30th, 2019. So, very serious subject matter today, not joking around. This actually happened to me the 10th of March, which was a Sunday, so tomorrow will be 3 weeks ago that this happened. I was having my live chat, and there's going to be a link below that you'll be able to click on the link and get to that point of my live stream. It's going to go right to that point, okay? And you will see where my phone started ringing, because I always have my phone sitting right here beside me, okay? And since then, I actually mute my phone now so that it won't ring while I'm doing my live stream. So, while I'm doing my live stream, my phone is ringing. And in my live stream, I'm like, who keeps calling me? I couldn't believe that I kept getting this, number. It was a restricted number, kept calling over and over and over again. And I'm like, and if you watch the live stream, at that point, you will actually see me say, I don't know who this is that's calling, but I'm very unhappy with you right now. And it's exactly what I said. And so I was like, this all started happening in the last 5 minutes of my live stream, okay? So what I did, I finished my live stream, I answer my phone, and I have somebody say, this is the police. You need to come out of the house with your hands in the air. We have police out front. So I'm like going, what? So I walked into my kitchen, and I looked out my kitchen window, and I didn't see any police out front, okay? So I said to this person that had called me, I said, listen, I don't know what kind of games you're playing, I says, but I'm really not in the mood for it. Go play your games with somebody else. And I hung up my phone. So then I called my IT guy, Mike, and I'm talking with him. Well, while I'm talking with him, again, my phone is ringing, this restricted number again, right? And then I see that there is a message left. And I said to Mike, Mike, I don't know what the heck is going on here. I said, let me listen to this message and see what's going on. And he's like, okay. So I listened to my voicemail, and the voicemail said, this really is the police. If you call back to 911, myself or this person will answer. Now I'm freaking out. Now I'm like, what in the heck is going on? So I call 911, and this gentleman that had called earlier answers the phone. He says, you need to come out of the house with your hands in the air. There's police out front. I go, what's going on? What are you talking about? What is going on? And he says, well, the voice that called is totally different than your voice, so I'm going to tell you what's happening. And I said, okay. They received 2 phone calls. So the first phone call, this person called claiming to be me, gave them my address, and said that I had just killed my wife. Now it's my ex-wife, obviously, but they said I just killed my wife and that I had a hostage tied up in the washroom. Then the same person called back, again claiming to be me, and said, when the police get here, that I'm going to kill them with my M16. Now, first of all, these swatting incidents that people are doing, and they think that it's a big joke and it's a big game. Anybody that knows, anything about swatting, it's when people are doing a live stream and people will call. It's a big game, and they call the police pretending to be that person, say that they've done this heinous crime and this type of stuff, and they want to see the door get kicked in while the person's live streaming, and the police come in, the SWAT team with the guns drawn in the whole 9 yards. Well, if any of you guys know, there was an incident recently where a gentleman was killed in Kansas City because of a swatting incident. The gentleman that made the call was from California, okay? He just received 20 years in prison for that. The police are not playing games with this, okay? I mean, I'm talking... Now, what I dealt with the county police, and I also dealt with the state police, okay? So I will tell you exactly what ended up happening here in a minute. But anyway... they were doing their investigation, and that's why they asked me to hold off on doing a video. Okay, so I'm going to get more into that in a second. But so what happened was, while I'm on the phone with this gentleman, and I said, well, when you called before, I didn't see any cops out in front of my house. And he said, well, they parked around the corner. They didn't want to come down my street. Guys, I live on a dead-end street, dirt road. dead-end dirt road street, okay, in the middle of the country where there's not any lights and this type of thing. So the reason that they hadn't come down was because they were afraid they were going to be ambushed, okay? So that was why they had not come down at that point. So, you know, while I'm talking with this person, you know, from the 911 police department, he's talking with the police that are around the corner. And there was 5 police cars, guys. So it wasn't like, you know, they were taking this very, very seriously. They thought that they had some lunatic that had just killed his wife, that had a hostage, that was threatening to kill the police. This is, you know, what they thought that they were dealing with. Well, you know, once I explained to them, I said, I'm a YouTuber. I was doing my live stream, and I just finished that up, and that's, you know, and I thought I was being pranked with the phone call. Okay, so I literally went out. I told him, I said, okay, I'm going to come out of my house. I'm going to have my phone in one hand, and I'm going to have my flashlight in the other, because it was already, you know, it was like 9:30 at night at this point. And so I come out of my house with my hands in the air, and then, you know, the police would come down the road. And by this point, they had talked with this dispatcher. They realized that it was a swatting incident, but they still have to come in, check the house, make sure there's no dead body, make sure there's no hostages and all this type of stuff. So, you know, and I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to say this right now, guys. The police in this incident were absolutely fantastic. The dispatcher was absolutely awesome. The state troopers that I dealt with, the county sheriffs that I dealt with, everybody was absolutely fantastic. They were awesome. They were very, very professional. Once they realized that it was a swatting incident, I was never put in handcuffs or anything like that. But, you know, after the first call, and I'm going to give you an example of what could have happened, okay? So after the first call that I had got, that I thought I was being pranked when I looked out my window and didn't see the police there, what if, let's do a scenario, what if I had said, and this thought went through my mind, am I being screwed with somebody outside of my house? Should I get a gun and go outside and see, make sure nobody's out there trying to mess with me or you know, and stuff like that? Had I done that, the police would have thought that I was this crazy person, armed lunatic person that had just killed his wife and threatening to kill the police. What do you think that they would have done to me? They would have killed me in a heartbeat, okay? Now, obviously, I didn't do that, but this is a very, very serious thing. And I just kind of wanted to bring up this. I really, honestly, I debated whether to do this video or not, just because I didn't really want to give credit to the people that did it. And but you know, I think that it's very serious, and it's something that needed to be brought up, because, you know, obviously now the police know who I am, you know, that I'm a YouTuber, that I do live streams, that I obviously am not killing anybody, you know, that I'm you know, just like the one trooper lives in my area. And he says, well, how long have you been here? And I said, almost 4 years. And he says, well, I've never had any contact with you. And I said, that's because I mind my own business. I mean, I don't bother anybody. I'm not breaking the laws. So, anyway, so they came in, cleared the house, made sure nobody was there, you know, and then once they realized there's no dead body, there's no hostage, you know, then basically a couple of them left, and the 2 state troopers stayed behind. And here's the funniest part about it, too. There was a state trooper back in the day, when I was early in my nursing career, that I actually took care of this state trooper's daughter, okay? Well, when she was 5 months old. And she ended up, she's still alive. The girl's doing very well. She actually went to college. She went to MCC, and she's doing well in life. So I'm really was happy to hear this. But anyway, her father became an investigator who worked down here out of one of the local state trooper barracks down here where I live. So probably a month before this situation happened, we had gone down to town to do laundry, and there was a state trooper sitting in a parking lot. And I always ask him, you know, do you know Investigator blah? And they're like, oh yeah. And this guy had told me, this trooper had told me, oh yeah, he retired. And I said, oh, that's cool. I said, yeah, I used to take care of his daughter, and we were talking about that. So, you know, I was just BSing with the state trooper. He ended up being one of the state troopers that obviously came to my house because he works this area. And so I was saying to this other trooper, you know, yeah, I knew, you know, Investigator blah, and I don't want to say his name. So he was like, another guy goes, oh my God, that's where I know you from. And I go, what? He goes, I looked at you and your face was familiar. He goes, you were down in the parking lot, down by the laundromat. You came up to my car and you talked to me. And I go, yeah. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay. So, I mean, it's small world, right? So it was funny in that aspect. But anyway, so they were investigating it. And a week after the incident, I talked to the investigator of what had happened. And he said it was out of a chat room out of New York City that it happened. And they were using what's called a Tor program, where they scramble the IP address so that you can't trace the IP address on a state level. Now, on a federal level, that's a whole different story. This is actually, guys, because it is a very, very serious crime, people doing this thinking that they're playing games and it's funny and ha ha ha. And, you know, now there's at least one person that has been killed. Maybe you've seen some of the videos where these people were gaming and the cops come in there, guns drawn. You know what I mean? They don't know. I mean, you know, they're being told one thing, and this person who is doing their live stream, you know, and it's usually Call of Duty gamers that this happens to. So why it happened to me, I have no idea. I mean, it was like, I was never mad. I was more in shock, okay? I was kind of mad afterwards, never at the police, because I'm going to tell you what, guys, again, I can't say enough of the way that the state police and that the county police handled this situation. They didn't come barging into here, you know, and you know, being tough guys at all. They were, you know, once they got the gist of the situation, once they had talked to me on the phone, they realized that it was a swatting incident, and they were very, very professional. So I'm going to say again, to all of them, my hat's off to them. So I have my copy here of the police report that I gave to the police that particular night. And again, this, you know, after my live stream was over, so my name is Ed, and, you know, my last name, and I'm giving this statement to Trooper Blank of the New York State Police about an incident that took place this evening. At around 9 p.m. this evening, I was finishing up my live stream YouTube show when I received a call from an unknown number saying that they were 911 and the cops were outside my house and I needed to come out with my hands up. I looked outside and did not see any police, so I did not believe them, and I thought it was a crank call, so I hung up on them. 911 then called back and left a message stating they wanted me to call 911. I called them back and they advised me that they had received a call from someone stating that they were me, using my name and claiming to have killed my wife and had someone tied up in the washroom. 911 said they received a second call from me claiming that I was going to shoot the police when they arrived on scene. I did not call 911 and have no idea who would call and make these claims. My wife, ex-wife, lives in Rochester, and we have been separated for 8 years. I have 2 children that live with me, but we're not home tonight. And thank goodness for that, guys. The kids were not home. They had spent an extra day with Mom because Heather had a doctor's appointment. My YouTube name is Pepper Nurse 1, and I have been doing the live shows for about 2 months. During this time, I have many trolls and people who have posted negative comments about me on my channel. That just comes with YouTube, guys. I have reported these issues to YouTube, and they are not able or willing to do anything about it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, YouTube, you can report spam, report, and YouTube does nothing. I'm just being honest with that, and I will be the first to say that if YouTube said anything, I've dealt with trolls, reported spam, and they do nothing, okay? I was not aware of any issues tonight while live streaming and did not receive any threats or messages in regards to this incident. I have no idea who would do something like this to me. I would like whoever is responsible for this incident to be arrested for any and all applicable offenses committed. End of statement. So, hopefully, and I have to call them back again and see where they are with the investigation, but it's on a federal level now, guys. So, hopefully they catch these people that did this, and I hope they go to jail for a long time, because it's not funny. It's not a joke. You're affecting anybody that's swatting people. You're affecting people's lives in a very, very negative way. Thank goodness my incident happened the way that it did, that the police handled it the way that they did, which was absolutely, again, I can't say how awesome the police were in this situation. And but, you know, this is a dangerous, dangerous thing, and I really wanted to talk about this and point this out, that this is not a game, it's not funny, it's not a joke. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, and hopefully this doesn't continue to happen, and hopefully that, you know, they're making it a very, very punishable crime, because like I said, this individual that just did this, that made that call, that got that person killed in Kansas City, they're looking, well, they just received 20 years in prison. So, you know what? And they should. They should be receiving hard time for doing this, because doing this to people that are completely oblivious and unaware of it happening, it's just not right. Okay, so I was swatted while live streaming on YouTube, and it was crazy. I mean, it was a crazy situation. I was, like I said, the whole time it was happening, I was more in shock and I was more surprised than anything else. I wasn't mad until later, because I thought about what possibly could have happened. And, you know, was somebody trying to get me killed? You know what I mean? That's really, you got to think about that, because that is a huge possibility, because it's already happened in a swatting incident. Again, my hat's off to the police. They handled it in a fantastic way. The troopers were fantastic. Like I said, the sheriffs were fantastic. The 911 operator that I spoke with was absolutely phenomenal. They figured it out really, really quickly, you know, what was going on and that I was being swatted, and they handled it very, very professionally, and they were awesome. So, again, you know, and I ended up having them here for a couple of hours, you know, because I had to get the report, and they didn't know exactly how they had to proceed with it, because he had said, I've never dealt with this before. And here's something else that the trooper had told me. When they had got the call that this was the situation, and they thought that I was the perpetrator, okay, he told me he called his wife and said, I might not come home tonight, because if you have a lunatic that's threatening to kill the police when they come to your home, I mean, you know, they're human beings too, and they're trying to do their job, and, you know, guys, there's good cops, there's bad cops, okay, but, you know, at the end of the day, they're trying to do their job, and they're trying to go home. When they have a threat like this, and they feel that this person may try to hurt them, they're jacked up like you would not believe. And for, you know, him to share that with me, that he had called his wife, I mean, that really touched me. It really did, because it just kind of shows you the gravity of it, because in their mind, they don't know what they're walking into. You know what I mean? So, just wanted to share this with you. It's important. We got to stop people from doing these stupid things, okay? We really, really do. And hopefully they get caught, and hopefully they go to prison. All right? So anyway, guys, listen, you know, remember, we are all in this together. It's important to remember. Remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen. And remember, STD, guys. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from getting there is yourself, okay? Nobody else can stop you. All right, so I hope everybody's doing well. I hope your weekend's going well. Like I said, it's like 3 weeks post-event now, and I just, you know, I was really debating back and forth if I should share this or not, and I decided I thought it was important if it saves somebody else. And here's another thing, guys. If you're a YouTuber, and I did call some of my friends, you know, I called John X Army, I called Marfugel, and gave them a warning, all right, and said, listen, you guys need to let your local PD know that you guys are live streamers, because this could happen to you too. So, you know, I wanted them to be aware. So, really important. And so, hopefully this brings awareness, and maybe people that are thinking about swatting somebody will now realize the ramifications of the games that they're playing. And, you know, it's not worth going to prison for, guys. It really isn't, and it's not a joke. So, I will talk to you all later. Have a great day. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now. Oh, guys, and I called Jacob Israel as well, and I warned him as well. So, all right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.